Are you tired of listening to us talk?
Well, yes.
So occasionally, we're going to ask you some questions.
I'm Lee Childers, and I'm a weird Mopar guy. My day job, though, is the senior scientist for the Department of Defense Extremity Trauma and Amputation Center of Excellence at Brook Army Medical Center, Center for the Intrepid, in the great state of Texas, where I get the privilege of leading a multidisciplinary research team to advance prosthetic care and develop exoskeletal solutions for service members with extremity trauma. I've always loved things that leak oil and make noise. I started restoring World War II aircraft. I then apprenticed at a race car engine shop in Atlanta, Georgia. That led to a series of poor life decisions that left me surrounded with Plymouth Roadrunners and Plymouth Cudas. I then joined a top fuel drag racing team in the early 2000s. Met a great group of people that would eventually become my Lemons Card teammates. I get to race with all my old friends from drag racing, and we get to do it without the stress of having our paycheck dependent on the car's performance. Our Lemons car is a glorious Volkswagen-powered 1980 Plymouth Horizon. This car was designed by the French, powered by the Germans, and built by the Americans. So what could possibly go wrong? I bought the car with a cage already done. I was particularly attracted to it because, well, I'm a Mopar guy, and I had no idea at the time that it was actually Volkswagen powered, or that was even a thing for the Plymouth Horizon. So I got that rude awakening. It didn't idle very well because the head gasket was blown. The head gasket was blown because the deck was cracked in 16 places on the block, so that had to be tossed out. But through Craigslist, I found a guy that was giving away a GTI engine out of an 83 Mark I GTI, and I got that for free. Some bolts are metric, some are standard. It's really just a guess. That also goes back to some parts are Volkswagen, some parts are Chrysler, some parts are only for Volkswagen powered Chryslers. So that has been another interesting learning experience for us. The front steering knuckles and brakes are off a 95 Dodge Caravan. The rear brakes are from an 03 PT Cruiser. I converted it to electronic fuel injection using parts I scavenged out of a 93 Volkswagen Fox. I have a Subaru STI, and I used the stock front sway bar and re-welded it to be the rear sway bar of this car. So it's just a hodgepodge of different stuff. I keep a spreadsheet of all the different cars and all the different parts I have so that I know when it finally breaks, I know what to get from the auto parts store. One of the cool parts about Lemons is it enables my daughter to kind of be more involved. She is definitely our director of all things decorations. She came up with the theme, flying unicorns farting rainbows. Some parts are hot pink, some are yellow, some are gold, some are green, some are blue. Every color on the rainbow. And so that's also been fun working on the car with her. I mean, my biggest win in Lemons was winning the IOE at Barber 2022. But my biggest win in racing was at the NHRA race in Memphis 2003. Another team blew the car up and just burned it completely to the ground. I mean, nothing was left of this car. It was just molten carbon fiber, molten plastic, molten wiring, molten everything. The only thing salvageable was the chassis. We ran over to that team's trailer thinking, we're gonna do everything we can to help these guys. What was really awesome was it wasn't just us that came over, it was people from every team that came to help these guys. There were 30 people trying to put this car back together.
I mean, this is what drag racing's all about. I mean, these guys are competitors, but when you see another guy down, look at that. You got Cruz's guys over here, Bill Miller's guys. It's just amazing. It's nice, and they were here waiting for us before the car got here. That's great, man. It almost puts a tear in your eye. It sure does.
My biggest win is being part of that crew that got that car back together and got it back to the racetrack. And that also kind of underpins Lemons, and why I love Lemons is because everybody's out there to help each other out. Whenever someone has a problem, there's always people coming over to help out, and I just love that. We were having all sorts of problems at Barber this year, and at one point our brand new map sensor just completely failed on us. Then another guy that was on the Top Fuel team that was with us, we jumped in his car and we drove to the junkyard, and we didn't even notice that we still had our fire suits on. And so whenever you're rummaging through a junkyard, cutting parts off old GMs in your fire suits, you know that you're having a Lemons experience. I would get a Dodge Caliber and I would paint it gold to take advantage of that Lemons loophole. Make it mid-engine, because mid-engine cars and Lemons have done so incredibly well. That's one ticket to domination. And I would certainly have to power it by the greatest engine ever developed by Mopar. Gotta put a Hemi in it. I think I'd go with the 1953 Dodge Red Ram Hemi. That engine is 241 cubic inches with 140 horsepower, and it only weighs 700 pounds. And so that's my ticket to absolute Lemons domination, or at least complete entertainment of the judges. Well, thanks a lot for having me, y'all. It's been fun. Can't wait to see y'all at the racetrack, and can't wait to show you my taillights. Whether that be for me passing you or you lapping me, doesn't matter.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?